Okay guys, so we are determining the equation of the hyperbola given the information that we have. So we're going to look at number 2, and we're going to start with that. So the first thing that I like to do is draw a picture to help me out. So my focus is at 0, -4, and 0, 4, so it looks like we're going on my axis. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, so there's my focus, and my vertices, -1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. So my hyperbola looks something like this. Now that's not all the information, but that's enough for what we need to figure out the formula. So my center is going to be halfway in between my two vertices. So my center is HK, always, and it's at 0, 0. Okay, so then I need to figure out all the other stuff. Alright, so yesterday, let's look at this. We talked about the 2A and the 2B and how that kind of works. Well, you need that more today. So I'm looking at the open up and open down. So in between my two vertices is my 2A length, and that's my transverse axis, which is my larger axis. So I'm going to count how many I have here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry. So 2A is equal to 6, so that means that A is equal to 3. So I have my A and my center. In order to write my formula, the only other thing I need is my B. But it's a little tricky to get my B because I don't know how wide this other way is, my conjugate axis. So I am going to use my focus to figure that out. I'm going to use the more positive one, so the one that's on the top, so this guy here. So that would be 0, 4. And 0, 4 has an X and a Y value. Now according to my formula on the focus, the top value, the Y on my focus, is equal to K plus C. Well, I know my K is 0 and I know my Y is 4. So 4 equals 0 plus C, so 4 is C. So the last thing I need to do is figure out what B is. Well, I'm going to use my Pythagorean relation to figure out B, and then I can write my formula. So this is C squared equals A squared plus B squared, where my C is 4 and my A is 3, and then we're solving for B. So we've got, what, 16 equals 9 plus B squared. So I want the square root of 16 minus 9, so 7 is B. And we're just going to leave them like that. We're going to plug them into our formula because that's all we need, and we're going to use this guy. So we have Y minus K is at 0 squared, minus X minus H, so that's 0 squared. Underneath the first one is A, and A squared is 9. And then B squared is 7, and that equals 1. You could rewrite this if you wanted to. Oh no, forgot my 1. And get rid of those zeros if you wanted to do that. So technically this equation could be, here, I'll just keep going. Y squared over 9 minus X, oh no, not, we're simplifying, silly. X squared over 7 equals 1. So these two mean the same thing. They're just written slightly different. Okay? Alright, so again, so my focus is at -5, -3, and then I have another focus at 7, -3. So this one is going to go horizontally. So -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. So there is my focus. And then I have another focus at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, -3. Alright, so then I have my vertices, -1, 2, -3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, -3. So let's see what that is. So that means that my center is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, here's my center. So halfway in between my vertices. And in fact, my two vertices give me my 2A length, which we just counted was 6. So I got a lot of information from just drawing my picture. So my A is 3, and my center is at 1, -3. So now we find our C, and we're going to use this formula this time, so I'm going to go over like this, because this opens left and right. If I draw my picture, it goes like that, and then like that. Actually, on those vertices, mine misses a little, so sorry. Okay, so for my foci, I'm going to pick my bigger number, so my furthest to the right. So either the furthest up or the furthest to the right, because then we don't get negative C's and we get kind of confused. So this guy is furthest to the right, and here is my X and my Y values. Now, according to my formula, I want my X value this time. Oh, this one. My X value this time. So X equals H plus C. So my X of my focus is 7, and that equals my H plus C minus 1. C is equal to 6. So now I use my Pythagorean relation to figure this out. There. Sorry. It's tricky to space it. So I've got C squared equals A squared plus B squared. I know that my C is 6, and I know that my A is 3. So now we solve. So we've got 36 and 9. And what is that? 27? Yeah. Just wanted to make sure. So minus 9, nope. B equals the square root of 27, because 36 minus 9, and then square root that. And then we're done. So we can write our formula. This one is backwards, so be careful. X minus H, which is 1 squared. So just make sure you're following the formula as you go along, and you will be just fine. Minus Y minus K, so that's plus 3 squared equals 1. And then this time I want my A first. So my A squared will be 9, and then I want my B, so my B squared is 27. Yeah. What? Oh, it's a hyperbola. Hey, that's fine. It only matters if they're bigger with the A and the B on the ellipse. But the hyperbolas doesn't matter. The B can be a bigger number than the A squared. The B squared can be a bigger number than the A squared. I forgot about that. Okay, so there's that. So that's how you do that side. Now, let's do this. So I'm going to change the directions a little bit on this guy. So this says my vertices, and this says that my minor axis. We're going to call that, the minor axis is the conjugate axis, so we're going to change this to conjugate. Because minor and major is usually associated with ellipses, so we're going to keep the parabola words with the parabola words. Okay, so again, pictures are very helpful, so that's what we're going to draw. Our vertice is at 7, -1, and 1, -1, so probably over here is good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, -1. So 7, -1, and 1, -1. These are my vertices. So that means that it's going like this. And I don't really care about the foci because it doesn't matter. We're trying to write the equation. We're not trying to graph all the stuff. So halfway in between, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2A is equal to 6. And A always goes with whatever direction it is. So if it's going left to right, that's where my A is. And if it's going up and down, that's where my A is as well. Then we have to divide each side by 2, and A is 3. So then 1, 2, 3, here's my center. So my center is at 1, 2, 3, 4, -1. So that's H and K. So now we keep going. Oh, yeah, and then it says this one, so this is our bigger axis, right? And we cannot use our focus to help us because we don't have our focus and we're not quite sure how far away they are. So this one opens left and right, so we're definitely on this side. Now it says that, so this major axis is called the transverse axis, and that's your A. So this A is for our transverse, and the conjugate is our B. So it says that our conjugate length is 4. So that means that 2B is equal to 4. And if I divide each side by 2, then now B is 2. And I have all the pieces I need to write my formula, so I don't need to do anything else, because all I need is my center and my A and my B. So this one's nice. So we do x minus h, and h is 4 squared, and then it's minus y minus k, which is -1 squared. And then I put a squared underneath the first one, so 9, and b squared under the second one, so 4. And there is that. So there's that one. Okay, number 10. I gave you the focus, and I only gave you one vertex. So we're going to figure this guy out. So we've got 3, 7, and 7, 7. So another horizontal, which I like to mix it up, so sorry. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to be a little bit more careful about this. Wait, yeah. And then it's, 3, 7, 7, 7, 6, 7. Yeah, I wrote that right. And then 1, we're going to pretend that this is 7. Because that helps us out a lot. Okay, so my focus is at 3, 7. So 1, 2, 3, and then 7. That's one focus. And then the other one is at 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. My vertex is at 6, 7, so here. Okay, so that means that my hyperbola goes like this. Since this is one box away on this vertex, then my other vertex also has to be evenly spaced. So my other ordered pair for my vertex is at 4, 7. So we're just kind of filling in gaps, and the reason that that's important is because between the two of these here, we have our center. So our center is here at 4, 5, 7. So 5, 7 is our center. And that means that the A, the 2A, is equal to 1, 2 spaces. So that means that A is equal to 1. So that's another reason why I kind of want to put both of them on there. If I only give you one, that's a way to do it, is evenly spaced. So the same thing, if I were to just give you your focus and both vertices, then you would just evenly count the one that you have both pieces of information for, and then put the other one where it should go. So remember that focus or foci are always like on the inside of your parabola, like the parabola is giving them a hug. Okay, so that's A in our center, so now we need B. Well, since I don't have my other measurement, my conjugate axis, I need to use my Pythagorean theorem. So since this one opens left and right, I am going to look at my focus, and I'm going to look at this guy, my bigger focus. So that would be 7, 7. So I'm looking at that x value, because x equals h plus c. I know my x value is 7, and I know that my h value, because this is hk, my h is 5 plus c minus 5, and c equals 2. Now we use our Pythagorean relation, so c squared equals a squared plus b squared to figure this out. My c is 2, and my a is 1, and my b is a mystery. So we have 4 minus 1 is b squared, so that's 3, so b is equal to the square root of 3. Alright, here we go. So now we're going to write our formula in. Oh, sorry, let's bump that up. Okay, so our formula is that guy right there. So we have our x minus our h, which is 5 squared, minus our y minus our k, which is 7 squared, equals 1. And then a goes first. A is 1 squared, which is 1, and b squared is 3. And there's the equation of that hyperbola. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. Have a great day. Bye, guys.